Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, our Canadian friends north of the border, and all our ships at sea. I'm your roving reporter, Smedley Butterworth, and this is 1940 Part 2 in Review. July, Brisbane. Story Bridge opened to carry motor, bicycle, and pedestrian traffic across Brisbane River. It is the longest cantilever bridge in Australia. Polish-Soviet border. German blitzkrieg struck into the Soviet Union with an attack into southern Belarusia. Overwhelmed defenders simply melted away before the onslaught. Leningrad. Simultaneous amphibious and airborne assaults with heavy air support captured the former Tsarist capital with minimal casualties. Terrified Soviets were reported to be fleeing eastward by the tens of thousands. Tobruk. A new German formation called the Africa Corps arrived by ship to aid the Italian army in its drive east on Suez. Il Duce thanked their Führer for his generous but unnecessary assistance. Madrid. Unconfirmed rumors echoed through the halls of government, suggesting General Franco is considering an offer to join the German Reich. Franco allegedly told the German ambassador he would give the matter serious thought if the Axis holds onto Gibraltar and captures the Suez Canal. Tokyo. The Mitsubishi A6m0 entered squadron service with the Imperial Japanese Navy. Also, the Kempite arrested 11 British nationals on suspicion of spying. One of the arrestees, Melville James Cox, committed suicide while in custody. August. United States. Retired General John J. Pershing made a national radio broadcast urging America to, quote, go all out, unquote, to aid Great Britain. At the same time, Charles Lindbergh spoke to an isolationist rally at Soldier Field in Chicago. Bahama Islands. The Duke of Windsor, formerly King Edward VIII, became royal governor. Sources close to the royal family confirmed the appointment was made to separate the Duke and Duchess from Europe and their fascist friends. Moscow. Stalin made a brief broadcast to inform his people and the world of his declaration of war against Japan. He also confirmed rumors that Mongolia and Tanatuva have become the newest Soviet socialist republics. Far East. Soviet forces captured northern Manchuria. However, a coordinated attack on Korea failed, forcing a retreat back to Primorsky Krai. Central Asia. Red Army and Air Force units defeated Japanese forces in a pitched battle to liberate Xinjiang. Immediately after, Chairman Mao came out of hiding and claimed the province for Communist China, with approval from Moscow. Mexico City. An NKVD agent assassinated Leon Trotsky with an ice axe. Trotsky had been a leading Bolshevik, one of Lenin's most trusted lieutenants, and a member of the First Politburo. However, after General Secretary Stalin rose to power, he gradually degraded Trotsky's power and influence before eventually forcing him into exile. September. Far East. Emperor Hirohito answered Stalin's declaration of war by ordering a two-pronged attack on Soviet territory. Imperial land and air forces scored victories in Primorsky Krai, Karelian, and Central Mongolia. Little stands between them and the Siberian Industrial Center of Novosibirsk. South Pacific. Japanese troops on Borneo crossed the island's mountainous spine and captured Sarawak. Burma. An attack by Imperial forces in Siam was repelled by Gurkha defenders. Cape Town. In a bold move far from supplies and reinforcements, Imperial Marines invaded captured the city to support their Italian ally. Southern France. Cave paintings depicting animals were discovered. Anthropologists believe the paintings date back to the Stone Age. Strasbourg. With unconcerned police and Gestapo officers looking on, a gang of Hitler youth destroyed the city's great synagogue. October. Pennsylvania. The first section of the Pennsylvania Turnpike opened. Similar to the German Autobahn, it is the first long-distance controlled access highway in the United States. Mediterranean Sea. A Royal Navy squadron forced its way through the Italian-controlled Strait of Gibraltar, losing a battle cruiser during the rush. Clear of the Narrows, RN ships engaged a small Italian force. A vicious battle claimed nearly all combatants, with only one Italian fighter and transport surviving. East Africa. Commonwealth forces launched a failed attack on Abyssinia, while British airborne troops captured Italian Somaliland. Heavy casualties have left the British in a questionable position. November, United States. Despite a popular campaign slogan, quote, Washington wouldn't, Grant couldn't, and Roosevelt shouldn't, unquote, President Franklin Roosevelt decisively defeated Wendell Willkie to win an unprecedented third term. Also, Agatha Christie's novel, And Then There Were None, was published. And an early season blizzard killed 144 across the Midwest. Greece. Mussolini's troops went on the march again and subdued the remainder of Greece with land, air, amphibious, and airborne attacks. Shortly after landing in Athens for an inspection tour, Il Duce was seen dancing a jig outside his hotel, apparently copying Hitler's celebratory Parisian two-step. Great Britain. Nicknamed the Wooden Wonder, the de Havilland mosquito made its maiden flight. December. India. Mahatma Gandhi, spiritual leader and advocate of nonviolent protest, penned a second letter to Chancellor Hitler. Gandhi addressed Herr Hitler as my friend and asked him to stop the war. So far, there hasn't been a response from Berlin. China. Chiang Kai-shek led an attack which liberated Saigon from Japanese oppression. The Generalissimo was also pleased by the delivery of military aid from America. California. A team of researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, synthesized plutonium in a lab for the first time. Some physicists claim nuclear fission using plutonium could produce even more energy than uranium. Puerto Rico. More American troops arrived for amphibious training. Washington, D.C. FBI Director Hoover has renewed espionage investigations involving military research labs due to a suspicious lack of progress. Hoover said, quote, "I'll do whatever it takes to root out fascist and communist saboteurs," unquote. Also, the NFL championship game ended with a crushing victory by the Chicago Bears over the Washington Redskins, 73-0. And there you have it, 1940 Part 2 in review. Thank you and good night.